Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So let's get started for the solution. Okay. First of all, were you able to make the different methods, mean, max? You have tested them? Okay. So here we consider the following text file that contains grade of the students in certain course. Okay, so here in the project folder, we need to create a file, grade.txt, and here we put the different values. So we're going to read one by one, line by line, and then put them into an array list as it is requested. So we have to read these grades from a file, store every grade into an array list called grades, and after storing all elements, we write the following method. Of course, so to write from a file, we need to make a scanner. Okay, let's say sc equal new scanner, and here we make a new file. So basically we can do a file here, a new file object equal a new file, and here we put the name of the text file, that is grades.txt, and we're going to read from the file. And of course here we have to import the file, and we have to import scanner. So we need to surround this with using try catch. So you have two options. I think in CS101 what you did, you were doing throws exception here. Okay, that could be done. But since now we would like to use more and more try and catch, I'm going to use try and catch here. Surround with try and catch, and you can see scanner will be inside a try block. Okay, so we're going to try to read from the file, and if it is not successful, okay, I'm going to print an error. The file is not found. Okay, the file is not found, and I can print the error itself here. It's called EX exception. I will put SC outside. Usually I would like to make the declaration outside the try block, so they are available, although it doesn't make too much difference. And then we need to read from the file. So we're going to make while sc dot has next. So we can use has next or has next line. Since everyone is put into a separate line, I'm going to use has next line here. But I think if you make has next or has next int, because or has next double, yes, because we're going to read some double. I'm going to read as a string and then convert to double. Although it's possible, because generally when we read from a text file, we have text information, and then we can convert it to any other type. You know how to make parse, parse int, parse double, and so on. So here string, let's say line or grade line. So I'm going to make step by step. Sc dot next line. So this is going to read the whole line, which contains only one integer, by the way, or one double. And then I will convert it to grade. Okay, grade is equal to double dot parse double and grade line here. So this is going to convert from a string to a double. Is it clear? Okay, and then let's first of all make sure that we print all the values correctly. I'm going just to print them here. Okay, so the file is not found. Grades.txt was not found.
You misspelled the file.
Grades, yeah, I made spelling error here. Okay, now, yes. Now we are sure we get all the values. I print all the values in the file. It's very simple. Now instead of printing, I would like to do what? I would like to add them into an array list. So first of all, I need to create an array list of double value, okay, which I will call grades. Are you following? Equal a new array list here of double, and I use like this. So here, make sure that you create outside the while loop. I saw one solution that makes like this. Okay, so this doesn't work. Why? because every time it's going to create a new list. So it's going to, you add a value and then you delete it. You add a value and then you delete it. So at the end you're going to get only the last value. So we must create the array list outside. Okay, and then whenever I read the value, I will do grades dot add grade. واضح ولا؟ Okay, and that's all. Okay, so what I can do here, if you want to print the whole list, just make println grades. Okay, I'm going to print all these one. Okay, so let me write all grades plus grade, and I make a number of students. How to find the number of students? Yeah, number of students plus grades dot size. Okay, so now I can try this code, and you can see this is now my list, which corresponds to grade. It's good. Now array list, you can print it just as a string. Okay, now for the array you have to print value by value. Now if you call the name of the array list in system.out.println, is going to print right away all the values, and you can see a list. It has brackets here, and all the values are separated by a colon or a comma. واضح ولا؟
Listen, why did you store at first place under the line and the white? Why did you store it as a string? Why
What?
didn't you store it as double?
Here,
Yes.
because I made next line return a string. I can do it differently.
Next double.
Okay, I can do here. It's equal sc dot next double. Okay, it's going to be the same thing.
So no need to convert here.
Okay, it's going to be the same thing. In this case, we don't need to convert.
No, to jump to the next line inside the while loop.
Yeah,
You have to use end of next line. Or external next line.
Yes.
we have here has next line. Yes. Yes. So this assumes that we have one grade in every line. Okay. Yes, because here we have while has next line. Okay, so as you can see here, it's going to read this line, get this value, and then jump to the next line, read this value, read this value, read this value, and so on. Okay, and every time it's going to add into the array list. Okay, after the while loop, so this is the end of the while loop here, I can print all the grades, which is this one, and I can print the number of students using the grades.size. Okay, so now I have everything here. So the second part is to write different methods. So here I'm going to write the method max, public, static, double max, and I put array list of double here. So what it should do? Identifier expected. Grades, yes. Grades here. So what we can do? For int I equal to 0, I smaller than grades dot size, okay, and I plus plus. So here to get the max value, this is very classical. I need to take a value equal to max. Okay, for example, I will set it to -1, some kind of negative value, and then I will compare every value. So if max is smaller than grades dot get I, I'm going to do change the value of max. I think you did something similar in CS101. Okay, grades dot get I. This is very typical to calculate the max. We initialize some value which is small, and then we compare with every value. And finally here return the max. Of course, if I want to check this one, whether so I'm going to do s out maximum grade plus. So here I'm going to call the method max grades. Okay, and running here, I can find the maximum grade. The minimum will be also as simple as this. I'm going to just to replace max by mean. Okay, I will put mean to some high value. Okay, some kind of high value, and then I'm going to compare if mean is greater than grade I. So mean will be equal to grade I, and then I will return the mean. Is this clear? Okay, so I can do the same here, and I can find the mean grade. Okay, very simple here. You'll find this is the minimum grade. The average is the same. Instead of making minimum, we're going to make the sum here. Okay, average here for the grades. Let's say sum is equal to 0 in the beginning here. And for every value, what we are going to do, sum is equal sum plus grades of I dot get I. Okay, and then return sum divided by grades dot size. Yes. So if we want to calculate the average here, quite simple. Average grade. Okay, and then run. We got it. Okay, so we ran out of time now. Next time I'm going to spend some time for finishing the removing the duplicate. And removing the duplicate, it can be in different ways. So one of the things that you can do just before finishing, so we did the methods max grade, but we can do it in a different way. Okay, I'm going to show you. We have a class that is called collections. Okay, we can put max here and put grades. So collections.max is going to return the maximum value. Same thing, we have collections.mean is going to return the minimum value, and in one step. Okay, I'm going to talk more about these ones so they can simplify our lives instead of making the methods ourselves. Okay, that's fine.